All right, so I am here today with Nicole from the Rising Tide Co. I have worked with Nicole a few different times. She is super skilled and has a lot of amazing abilities, but one of the great things she does is help brands develop marketing, help them develop a website and all of that. So, you know, I am all about helping startups succeed. So hi, Nicole. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
I'm super excited for this because, you know, as a copywriter, obviously, I often lean in on web projects with brands, but I really have no idea about the whole, that side of things. Like, how do you actually make it? What's actually supposed to be in the infrastructure and all that? And I think a lot of small businesses have to do this themselves because they can't hire a developer and they can't hire somebody to kind of structure everything right. So I think this crash course is going to be immensely helpful. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Perfect. Give us a little intro, kind of like who you are and what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks again, Joy, for having me. Super excited to be here. And like you said, I think a lot of small businesses are forced to either work with, you know, a costly developer to build a site, or they can use an off-the-shelf template like Squarespace or Wix or WordPress. So what I'd love to talk about today with your audience is 5 must-have elements of a successful website for your business. Sound good?
That sounds perfect. All right, so go ahead and share your screen and kind of walk us through the steps, and go slow because we don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I will. All right, I have requested screen sharing. If you could just enable that, and then we'll be ready to rock. All right, I'm all set now. So I will pull up my screen here. Are you able to see the website that we're looking at today?
Yeah, awesome.
Perfect. So this is just an example. It's a site that I built for a really lovely client, Beehive Salon in Portland, Maine. If you're eager to get your hair done after everything we've been going through recently, she's in downtown Portland, super talented, just a lovely group of people. So first off, this website, I built it using Squarespace, which is a really cost-effective, easy-to-use platform for small business owners. And it's great because every template that they have is optimized for mobile devices. And that's my first must-have for a successful website, is it has to be designed mobile first, meaning it looks great on this screen first, and then it looks great on a desktop second. And that's because consumers were just crazy running around with our phones in our hands all day. So in order to be present and, you know, convert and drive sales for your business, you need to be where your customers are. So this website here, Beehive Salon, this is designed mobile first, meaning it has limited copy, meaning it has really widespread imagery throughout, and high quality and high file imagery, because nothing looks worse or creates a worse first impression than like a pixelated image that looks like you took it on your iPhone, like running past it. So Unsplash is a really great resource for royalty-free and free imagery. That's unsplash.com, or you can use iStock and buy really high quality imagery. So mobile first, be where your customers are. That's point 1. And I'll sort of like scroll down this site here so you can see what I'm talking about. There's a lot of negative space. Again, limited copy, short and sweet. People have limited attention spans, limited time. So just give them what they need to know. Joy can help you with that, the copy queen. And again, just imagery, sort of creating that feeling, super scrollable. So this is a long form scrolling format. I'm not having to click between different pages to experience these different elements of the site. Really clear CTAs, meaning calls to action. So you're creating this like long form scrolling journey for someone, where if you're on a mobile device, all you have to do is scroll. So that's point 1, mobile first. The second must have, I think, for your website is you have to know who the hero is. it's weird to think about, but your business's website, it is not about you. It's not about you. It's not about your business. It's about the visitor. It's about making them feel like you know exactly what their problem is, promoting your solution, your service or product, and painting a story for success. And that is something where you can't take the hero seat in your own website. And I think small businesses have an initial response when they're creating copy and pages to just like and talk about them and what they do and why they're great. Your customer doesn't care about your business on its own. What it cares about is what your business can accomplish for them. So when you're thinking about the products and the copy and how you're talking to your visitors, don't be the hero. Don't be a hero, guys. You have to let the visitor be the hero.
That's huge, because I think especially with startups and small businesses, that it's all about brand development. So you think like, I have to have a brand that's super different from everybody else's brand, and I have to tell everybody all about myself. Like that's huge. That's a really good point.
Yeah, it's challenging, but I think that it can help having outside perspectives where you're working with like a copywriter, or you're just talking to friends or family about what the benefit is of your product or service, and then making sure that everything from the imagery you select to the copy that you include is about making that person successful. So even this first line on the Beehive website, welcome to Beehive, a collective of hairstylists enhancing client beauty in Portland, Maine. That line could have been, we're a collective of hairstylists in Portland, Maine. We're passionate about what we do, but it's not about the stylist, it's about enhancing client beauty. So they're being really clear in making the client the hero of that story.
I'm obsessed with that. That was genius. And just that tiny tweak transformed. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'm glad that resonated. Yeah, it's important for sure. And then I think the third must-have for your website is to focus on above the fold content. So when web designers talk about above the fold, it's basically anything from here where I'm scrolling my mouse up. It's where the screen breaks. So above the fold will be different on your desktop than it would be on your mobile device. And this above the fold area is so crucial because it has the immediate opportunity to either convert or lose someone. This is essentially the landing page of your site. So you got them engaged with an Instagram ad or a Facebook post, and you've gotten them here. You've gotten their attention enough to drive them to your website. So this section needs to work really hard to promote your business and promote that hero story for your customer. So you have to lead with a really concise value statement. It's so tempting. I get it. I've done it myself in my past to create this really catchy, like fun vibe headline when someone lands on this page, on this homepage. But that's not the place to be cute. The place to be cute is later. Here, you have to say what the problem is that someone's facing, what your solution is, and what success looks like. So for someone who is in a product or service industry, it's again painting that hero story. You say like, welcome, here's the name of the company, and then here's what we can accomplish for you. Because then someone who's like kind of on the fence about what this website is about, they're not confused by like a catchy, kitschy headline. They are already being served with what their experience on this website will bring to their life. So use this above the fold area to be really clear with your copy. Make it really pretty. If you can do like a full span image like this, that's just sort of a nice, like I've arrived moment, creating that emotional connection. And use your navigation links up here really carefully. So I think it's tempting to put a bunch of links up in your navigation area. But I really think you should have no more than 4 always, because you are trying to create what I call like the Z pattern with engagement above the fold. So a person reads a website left to right and then right to left. So you have, okay, this is the company that I'm with, Beehive Salon, great. They move over they see the navigation links, which are primary intentions of the site. We want to show them the salon, the services that they offer, who the stylists are, and how they can contact the salon. Then you have a really clear CTA over here, schedule an appointment. That's like a money-making CTA in a prime spot in the site. And then they travel down, and again, in that Z pattern. So they're engaging with the content that tells them who you are, how you can help them, and then hit them again with another money-making CTA. And then if you've done that correctly, they'll continue down throughout the site. But that's a really important behavior pattern to tap into.
That was like, you're like blowing my mind. I've never heard that before. Like, but it makes so much sense. But it's so easy because you don't want to do the sub menus in your nav. You know what I mean? Like when you hit, you know, so if you don't want to do sub menus, then you end up adding more to that navigation. But that makes total sense, because if they can go too many places, they're just going to get lost.
Yeah, it's like when someone is like ordering ice cream and there's this board with like 50 menu options and you're like, I think I just want chocolate. So like just give them chocolate up in the menu.
What's it called? Decision fatigue? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I think that goes again to mobile first design. Like if you have a bunch of navigation options up here on your mobile phone, you're going to be like teetering around and trying to like click through in multiple different sub navs. So use that top space for like 3 to 4 high priority revenue driving, lead driving pages. And then use, if you want to share other content, if you want to have other pages in your site, leave them in what I call the junk drawer. We all have them. We all have a junk drawer in our house. Maybe you have too, I don't know. But this is the junk drawer for your website. You can have policies, procedures, like, you know, you can have about it should live in your junk drawer. And I think that's really counterintuitive for businesses, because they're like, people need to know what I'm about. People need to know how you're going to help them. And everyone knows to scroll down to the bottom of the site for more navigation options. So it's not like you're missing out on that traffic. You're just not prioritizing it, because about doesn't necessarily make you money. So that is a must-have. Focus on the header area. Make it easy to engage or buy is my 4th out of 5 must-haves for your website. So limit the number of pages that are in your site. Don't create this like labyrinth of pages where someone's like, I thought I saw something back here and like, I don't really know where I'm at now. So keep the number of pages really simple. Make sure that you include multiple conversion opportunities throughout the site. So don't be afraid to put embedded links in your copy. Don't be afraid to put CTA buttons throughout in bold colors, because people make decisions at different times. It's not like there's this flow of, you know, I brought someone to this page and then they saw this content and now they're ready to buy. Like someone like me, who is kind of impulsive sometimes, could see one page and be like, I'm good, let's buy this. I wonder if they have 2-day shipping. So you need to be present all the time with your CTAs. So here's an example where we're on the services page for Beehive. There are options to book with the stylist right away. If after reading this copy about, you know, kindness, compassion, and gratitude towards the customer and their hair, treat yourself, you're like, okay, I'm ready, then you can click and meet with a stylist. Or if you want to know more about the services or products, you can do that. And then again, you know, find your stylist. This is a conversion point because you're able to book directly with each stylist. So again, limited number of pages, multiple CTAs throughout to try and drive those conversions, and don't be shy for the sale. I think that business owners sometimes will like lay out all this really great content about how they can benefit their customers, how their services are put together. But then when it comes time to actually ask someone to buy, they're like, and buy this, like a really put a really clear CTA button, make it big, make it have a color like capital letters, put copy around it that's like act now, you know, limited opportunity, be a little salesy with it. Because your customer needs to sometimes be prompted to think that. So don't be shy when you ask for the sale. And always try and capture email addresses for lead generation. That's huge. And Joy, I'm sure that you've experienced that with your clients as well, how crucial that can be. So a form of lead generation is usually near the footer. You can enter in your email address. I've already entered in my email address. They already have me. But at the bottom of the website, you should include information that is a value add in exchange for the email address. Because I heard a metric recently that someone's email address to a business is worth around like $10, which if someone is going to give you information of that's worth $10, they need to get something in return that's at least as valuable as that. So it can be you know, a free brainstorming session, it can be a free estimate, it could be a digital download, access to a group, but try not to just say like, join our newsletter, because people are probably already on a lot of newsletters. So you want to eventually get them into your newsletter. Like, don't get me wrong, that's the goal. But in order for them to be willing to share that information with you, you need to give to get. So that's another must-have for your website, lead generation. And then last but not least, I think impactful copy throughout your site that's written for your prospects or customers, and not acting as like a memoir, you know, for your business. I think you want to include content that creates familiarity, so that, like Joy had mentioned earlier, you have this opportunity to build engagement and loyalty with the brand and sort of know what the business is about, like what their vibe is, because more and more consumers are making decisions with their like heart and their conscience. So you definitely want to include content throughout that gives the flavor of your business. Like, so an example here, you know, we're so glad you're here. That's definitely a familiar tone. So you're sort of setting that that intention for the brand voice. Behind is a cozy studio in the heart of the Arts District, specializing in lived-in color blonding extensions and timeless haircuts. We promise to make you feel welcome and at home from the moment you enter our space. So here we're saying a lot without saying a lot. And I think that's really important for website design. You have to create an environment that matches your brand. So if you're a personal training company, your vibe wouldn't be like, we're going to make you feel so welcome. The vibe would be like, we're here to push you to become your best self, and we know you can do it, and here's how. So think about the copy that you're writing on the site. And again, throughout that, going back to that, like, you're not the hero idea, include compelling copy throughout multiple times, restate it, your value prop. And that's going to help you convert customers, because people don't buy a product, they buy a solution. They don't buy a service, they buy a promise, they buy success. And last but not least, Joy, this is something you do so well, is including SEO keywords in copy. So I think that it's really important to create copy throughout your site that creates that brand story, but ultimately a website only works as hard as the visitors that are coming to see it. So you need to make sure that you're found, that you're generating traffic, making sure that you're naming image files correctly, using keywords there, so that you can drive visits to your site and create business and revenue. That's the end goal, right? So those are my 5 must-haves. And just to sort of reiterate, you have mobile-first design and high-quality images. Know who the hero is. And just a reminder, it's not you, it's the prospects and customers. Focus on the header area above the fold. Keep your nav really simple. Make it easy to engage or buy. And then create impactful copy that tells a story and is optimized for search.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I have. It was helpful.
Yeah, and because, you know, because SEO is the sea I swim in every day, you know, I think that small brands get the idea that they're never going to compete, you know, that it's too complicated or it's too hard. And, you know, even something like this, I mean, obviously this is a professional website, but there are most of the steps that you outlined could be done by anybody if they just took the time to learn the platform well enough, you know, get the images, get the styling together. You know, I think this is really possible and accessible. And as a small business owner, a startup, you know, it is people's responsibility to get some marketing knowledge, you know, to understand those behavioral patterns, to not overestimate your customer, to realize that they need to be told exactly what to do from the second they land on your website. Yeah, I think that was like rock solid. That was awesome. I think that could be really helpful for a lot of people. So
I
thank
hope
you.
so. My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, the plug is all important because while a lot of startups don't have, you know, maybe the budget, you know, some of you guys do, and some of you guys need the extra help, the extra set of hands. So I'm going to link all of Nicole's relevant business info in the caption, and she is available for consultation. She does business coaching. She does marketing strategy, website development. So she is an extraordinary resource for your business. So her website is therisingtideco.com. You'll see it here on the screen, and we'll be sure to link it below as well. You can follow her on social. If you're a female entrepreneur or somebody who is getting in the game, you have a side hustle, you want to make it your paycheck. She has all kinds of coaching resources and quizzes, webinars, things like that that can kind of give you some strategy, which is what this is all about. Like, how do we strategize to make our mark in the marketplace in a way that's fulfilling ultimately and gives us the life we want, right? So there will be a follow-up to this video with some other introductions and information for you. But for now, Nicole, thanks for coming, and this was awesome advice.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Bye.